One other Mary I want to talk about, one other female I want to talk about in the Old Testament, in the New Testament, is Mary of Magdala. She's called Mary Magdalene. Magdalene was not her name. She was just from a place called Magdala. She's written about in all four Gospels, but she is listed as being, one of the female disciples, and there could have been 1,000 people following Jesus at the time. But Mary Magdalene had special dispensation from Jesus. Jesus was known to keep her close. He was known. She was much of her was found out in the Gnostic Gospels that were found in Nag Hammadi in 1946 in Egypt. But what was important is Jesus had male and female disciples, and Mary Magdalene was number one among the females, and in many cases above the men. Jesus was known to kiss her openly, which led to people believing that Mary Magdalene was Jesus's wife. I'm not sure why people resist that. This is a society where a woman isn't openly kissed by anyone but her own family and her spouse. And, Mary Magdalene was one of the people who was to go prepare Jesus's body after he was crucified on the third day when the rock was rolled back. She had the spices along with Mary, maybe the Mother Mary, maybe Mary of Bethany. We have different accounts, but it's Mary Magdalene was at the tomb, and she got the first word that Jesus had risen and was to meet the apostles back in Galilee. So was Mary Magdalene Jesus's wife? Now, if you read Dan Brown's novel, The Da Vinci Code, it holds that there's evidence that Jesus and Mary Magdalene were married. And yes, in the Gnostic Gospels, it talks about Mary Magdalene being the wife of Jesus. As a matter of faith, I don't see where it takes one either way. The Catholic Church has been very protective of Jesus and of the Virgin Mary, and did a great deal to downplay who Mary Magdalene was, at a certain time saying that she was a prostitute, and some saying that she was the prostitute or the woman who was caught in infidelity that was to be stoned in the Gospel of John, where Jesus said, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone at her." We find out later that story wasn't supposed to be in the Gospel of John and was an add-on later, but nowhere does it say that Mary Magdalene was a prostitute, and she was known to bring comfort to Jesus. It does say that Jesus cast 7 demons out of her, or evil spirits out of her. Who knows what? It seems like a lot of backdating, and much has been done by the church over the years to extinguish her as quickly as possible, especially after the resurrection. And she's not even mentioned in the Pentecost. When I talked about how the Virgin Mary, Mary, mother of Jesus, was with the disciples, and during the Pentecost, the Holy Spirit came down upon all who were in the room and settled with tongues over the apostles, and they all began speaking in unknown languages and were filled with the Holy Spirit, and that was the triggering event for them to go off and start their ministries all around the known world. And Mary Magdalene wasn't mentioned that she would be there, but you think she would be. But it's one of those interesting things in the Bible that since it doesn't say it didn't happen, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. And with the Bible, you have to live with a lot of that.